and it's exploring AI consciousness and the future of education.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to dive into some fascinating concepts
Yeah,
about whether AI could ever truly feel
right.
and what that means for us humans.
Yeah, it's fascinating because this excerpt tackles how we instinctively project thoughts and feelings onto other things,
Okay.
even inanimate objects.
Huh.
The authors call it the theory of other minds.
So are we talking about people thinking their toasters are sentient?
Not exactly, but it's more common than you might think.
Okay.
The excerpt uses the analogy of a sandcastle.
Right.
We understand ourselves as a collection of interconnected parts,
Mm-hmm.
and we apply that same logic to other things, even machines.
Okay.
When AI systems respond in a complex way,
Yeah.
that instinct to project consciousness kicks in.
So it's like we're hardwired to see patterns
Right.
and assume there's a thinking mind behind them. But does that mean those minds actually exist, especially in AI?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
The excerpt dives into some pretty complex scientific theories,
Mhm.
one being
Right.
integrated information theory, or ITT.
ITT.
It suggests that consciousness could come from the complexity of interconnected information. Think of it like a network.
Right.
The more intricate the connections, the higher the level of consciousness.
So the more complex the AI, the more likely it is to be conscious.
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
And it proposes that consciousness isn't limited to a physical body.
Uh-huh.
It could theoretically exist in non-biological systems like AI.
Oh, wow.
It's a bit like how we once thought life was too complex to be
Uh-huh.
explained by chemistry,
Right.
but then we discovered DNA.
That's a really interesting parallel.
Yeah.
It's like we're on the verge of a similar breakthrough in understanding consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
but is everyone in the scientific community on board with this theory?
Not quite. There are some contrasting viewpoints. For instance, philosopher John Searle argues that ITT is unscientific and lacks motivation.
Interesting.
He believes consciousness is fundamentally different from information processing.
Okay.
He even uses a thought experiment called the Chinese room to illustrate his point.
Okay.
Imagine someone who doesn't speak Chinese locked in a room
Right.
with a rule book for manipulating Chinese symbols.
Okay.
They can receive questions in Chinese and use the rule book to generate appropriate responses,
Hmm.
even though they don't understand the language.
Oh, wow.
Searle argues that this is analogous to AI.
Okay.
It can manipulate symbols without true understanding or consciousness.
So Searle's basically saying that just because a machine can process information
Right.
and respond in a way that seems intelligent
Yeah,
doesn't mean it's actually conscious.
exactly. He
Interesting.
believes there's something more to consciousness,
Okay.
something that can't be reduced to simply following rules.
What about other perspectives? Does the excerpt mention any other theories
It
about consciousness and AI?
Neuroscientist Christoph Koch, on the other hand,
Okay.
defends ITT as a testable theory
Yeah.
that could help us determine consciousness in various scenarios, like
Yeah.
fetuses or brain-injured patients.
Okay.
He believes it offers a way to quantify consciousness,
Okay.
even in non-human entities.
So while Searle is skeptical,
Uh-huh.
Koch sees potential in ITT to actually measure and understand consciousness.
Yeah.
Are there any other alternative theories mentioned in the excerpt?
The excerpt also touches on Roger Penrose's argument
Okay.
that consciousness has a quantum basis
Okay.
and can't be explained solely through computation.
Wow.
He believes there are non-computable aspects of consciousness
Uh-huh.
related to quantum processes in the brain.
It's pretty mind-blowing. Quantum physics and consciousness. What a
Yeah.
combination.
Right.
So it seems like there's still a lot of debate and no definitive answer on whether AI can be truly conscious.
A lot of different ideas floating around. But what's important is that this very question is forcing us to re-examine our assumptions about intelligence and what it means to be human.
Mm-hmm.
As AI keeps evolving, our understanding of ourselves might evolve right alongside it.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about something that's probably relevant to you as a learner. The future of education in a world where AI is becoming increasingly integrated into our lives.
This is where the rubber meets the road.
Okay.
The excerpt argues that just as there was resistance to new technologies like the printing press and the internet,
Right.
we're seeing pushback against AI in education today.
Right, like the debate over banning ChatGPT in schools.
Exactly.
Some worry about cheating and hindering original thought. But isn't that fear a bit like trying to put a genie back in the bottle?
Yeah.
AI is here to stay.
Right.
And it's only going to become more sophisticated.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we adapt and leverage its potential in education?
Exactly. The excerpt argues that rather than censoring AI, We should be finding ways to harness its power for learning.
Okay.
Think of it like this.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't ban calculators
Right.
because some students might misuse them.
Right.
Instead, we teach them how to use calculators effectively
Wow.
as tools for learning.
Yeah.
We need to adopt a similar approach with AI.
So it's about finding the right balance, embracing the potential of AI without sacrificing critical thinking and creativity.
Right.
Can you give us some concrete examples of how AI is already being used in education?
The excerpt highlights some interesting examples, like using ChatGPT to help students write essays and even fact-check its output to improve information literacy.
Wait, fact-check ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Isn't that like letting the fox guard the henhouse?
It might seem that way,
Yeah.
but think of it this way.
Okay.
By fact-checking AI output, students learn to be critical consumers of information.
Okay.
They develop their research skills and learn to discern reliable sources from unreliable ones. It's not about blindly trusting the AI. It's about using it as a springboard for deeper learning.
That's a really interesting perspective.
Yeah.
It's like using AI to enhance critical thinking rather than replacing it.
Exactly.
So instead of seeing AI as a threat, we should see it as an opportunity to develop new skills and approaches to learning.
Right.
Are there any other potential applications of AI in education
There are many.
that the excerpt mentions?
AI can be used for research data analysis, generating examples, creating personalized learning paths, and even providing feedback on student work.
Wow.
It can help teachers tailor their instruction to individual needs and learning styles.
So it sounds like AI could be a game changer for education.
Definitely.
But the excerpt also touches on this idea of merging with the machine.
It does.
The singularity.
Yeah.
Is a concept that often pops up in science fiction.
It does. Futurist Ray Kurzweil predicts that we'll reach the singularity by 2045.
Okay.
The point where AI surpasses human intelligence. The excerpt also mentions Dan Brown's novel Origin, which explores the idea that we might need to merge with AI to keep pace with its development.
That's some serious sci-fi stuff.
It is.
But it also raises some profound questions about the future of humanity.
Right.
If AI does become vastly more intelligent than us, what does that mean for our role in the world?
Yeah.
Will we become obsolete?
Right.
Will we merge with machines to enhance our own capabilities?
Right.
What role will education play in this future world?
Those are questions we need to start asking ourselves now.
Right.
Education will need to adapt to prepare students for a world where AI is not just a tool, but potentially a partner, a collaborator, or even an extension of ourselves.
It's mind-boggling to think about.
It is.
But that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
It pushes us to think beyond our current limitations and imagine new possibilities.
Absolutely.
But before we get too carried away with future scenarios, let's bring it back to the present and the book, AI Bu Nu. What are some key insights from the excerpt that we can leave our listeners with?
One of the most important takeaways is that AI is not something to be feared.
Okay.
But it's also not something to be blindly embraced.
Okay.
It's a powerful tool that requires careful consideration and responsible use. The authors of AI Bu Nu urge us to approach AI with both curiosity and critical thinking, recognizing its potential to transform education for the better while being mindful of its potential pitfalls.
That's a great point. It's about finding the right balance, embracing the opportunities AI presents while also being aware of the challenges.
And remember, the journey of understanding AI is just beginning.
Right.
There's so much more to discover and discuss.
Absolutely.
We encourage you to continue exploring these ideas and to engage in conversations about the role you want AI to play in your life and in the world.
Those are wise words. This deep dive has been a fascinating exploration of AI, consciousness, and the future of education. We've covered a lot of ground, but there's still so much more to uncover.
Absolutely.
And AI Bu Nu is a valuable resource for anyone who wants to delve deeper into these topics.
For sure.
We'll be back in a moment to continue our deep dive.
Sounds good. Welcome back. Before we delve further, I think it's essential to address some of the concerns surrounding AI in education.
Okay.
The idea of AI in the classroom can spark anxieties, but it's crucial to remember that we've navigated similar technological shifts before.
That's a good point. We often fear the unknown.
Right.
When the printing press was invented,
Yeah.
some worried it would lead to intellectual laziness.
Mm-hmm.
The same concerns arose with the internet.
Right.
Yet both technologies have revolutionized the way we learn and access information.
Precisely. And just like those earlier innovations,
Yeah.
AI has the potential to transform education for the better.
Okay.
The key is to approach it thoughtfully and strategically.
Right.
The excerpt from AI Bunu suggests that instead of viewing AI as a threat, we should see it as a powerful tool to enhance learning and prepare students for a future where AI is ubiquitous.
So how do we move past this fear and start embracing AI's potential in education?
Yeah.
It's easy to say use it as a tool,
Yeah.
but what does that look like in practice?
One of the most promising applications is personalized learning.
Okay.
Imagine a world where AI tutors tailor their instruction
Right.
to each student's individual needs and learning styles.
Okay.
AI can identify a student's strengths and weaknesses and adapt the curriculum accordingly.
Okay.
It can provide real-time feedback and adjust the pace of learning to keep students engaged and challenged.
That sounds incredible, especially for students who struggle in a traditional classroom setting.
Right.
It's like having a personal tutor for every student.
Exactly.
What about those who worry that AI will make students lazy or hinder their creativity?
It's a valid concern.
Yeah.
But remember, AI is a tool.
Okay.
Like any tool, it can be used passively or actively. The key is to use it in a way that encourages engagement and critical thinking.
Gotcha.
For instance, instead of just having AI spit out answers, we can use it to help students explore different perspectives, generate ideas, and develop their own arguments.
So it's about shifting the focus from memorization and rote learning to higher order thinking skills.
Exactly.
Like analysis, synthesis, and evaluation.
Right.
Are there any other ways AI can be used to enhance the learning experience?
Absolutely. AI can help teachers become more efficient and effective.
Okay. How so?
Think about all the time teachers spend grading papers, planning lessons, and managing administrative tasks.
Yeah.
AI can automate many of these tasks, freeing up teachers to focus on what they do best.
Like what?
Interacting with students, mentoring them, and fostering a love of learning.
That sounds like a dream for teachers.
It could be.
But some might worry that AI could eventually replace teachers altogether.
Right.
What do you say to that?
That's an understandable fear. But I believe that while AI can augment and enhance teaching, it can never truly replace the human element. The role of the teacher will evolve, but their expertise, empathy, and ability to inspire will always be essential. Think of AI as a partner to teachers, not a replacement.
That's a reassuring perspective.
Yeah.
It's about collaboration, not competition.
Exactly.
But as with any new technology, there are potential downsides.
Sure.
What are some of the risks we should be aware of when it comes to AI in education?
Of course, we need to be mindful of the ethical and social implications. One concern is bias in algorithms. If AI systems are trained on biased data, they can perpetuate and even amplify existing inequalities.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's crucial to ensure that AI in education is developed and deployed in a way that is fair, equitable, and inclusive.
That's a critical point. Yeah. We can't just assume that AI will be neutral or objective.
Right.
We need to be actively involved in shaping its development.
Absolutely.
Ensuring it reflects our values. Are there other potential risks we should consider?
Another concern is privacy.
Okay.
As AI collects more and more data about students.
Right.
It's essential to have robust safeguards to protect their privacy and ensure that their data is used responsibly and ethically.
Okay.
We need to have open discussions about data ownership, transparency, and consent, especially when it comes to children.
Those are valid concerns.
Yeah.
We need to be cautious and thoughtful about how we implement AI in education.
Absolutely.
It's not just about the technology itself.
Right.
It's about the ethical and social context in which it's used.
Exactly. We need to approach AI in education with a critical and discerning eye, recognizing both its potential benefits and its potential pitfalls.
Right.
And we need to engage in ongoing dialogue and collaboration to ensure that AI serves to enhance, not diminish, the human experience of learning.
Speaking of enhancing the human experience earlier, we touched on this mind-blowing concept of merging with machines, the singularity. It's a concept that sparks both excitement and apprehension.
It does. And while it might seem like something straight out of science fiction, it's a topic that serious thinkers and scientists are grappling with. Futurist Ray Kurzweil, who we mentioned earlier, believes that the singularity, the point where AI surpasses human intelligence, is not just possible, but inevitable.
Wow, inevitable. That's a bold prediction.
It is.
But if that's the case, what does it mean for us?
Well,
Will we become obsolete?
yeah,
Will we merge with machines to enhance our own capabilities?
it's possible.
What role will education play in this future world?
Those are questions we need to start asking ourselves now.
Right.
Education will need to adapt to prepare students for a world where AI is not just a tool,
Okay.
but potentially a partner, a collaborator, or even an extension of ourselves.
It's mind-boggling to think about.
It is.
But that's the beauty of it.
Uh-huh.
It pushes us to think beyond our current limitations and imagine new possibilities.
Right.
But before we get too carried away with future scenarios,
Sure.
let's bring it back to the present and the book AI New.
Okay.
What are some key insights from the excerpts
Okay.
that we can leave our listeners with?
One of the most important takeaways is that AI is not something to be feared,
Okay.
but it's also not something to be blindly embraced.
Right.
It's a powerful tool that requires careful consideration and responsible use.
Mm-hmm.
The authors of AI New urge us to approach AI with both curiosity and critical thinking,
Okay.
recognizing its potential to transform education for the better while being mindful of its potential pitfalls.
That's a great point. It's about finding the right balance, embracing the opportunities AI presents,
Exactly.
while also being aware of the challenges.
Exactly. And remember, the journey of understanding AI is just beginning.
Right.
There's so much more to discover and discuss.
Yeah.
We encourage you to continue exploring these ideas and to engage in conversations about the role you want AI to play in your life and in the world.
Those are wise words.
Yeah.
This deep dive has been a fascinating exploration of AI consciousness and the future of education.
It has.
We've covered a lot of ground, but there's still so much more to uncover.
Absolutely.
And AI New is a valuable resource for anyone who wants to delve deeper into these topics.
It is.
We'll be back after a quick break to wrap up our deep dive with some final thoughts.
Welcome back to our deep dive into AI New. You sent us a fascinating excerpt,
Yeah.
and we've covered a lot of ground,
Love it.
from AI consciousness to the singularity.
Right.
But I keep coming back to the impact of AI on education. It seems like that's where we'll see some of the most immediate and profound changes.
I agree. The excerpt really emphasizes the need to prepare students for a future
Right.
where AI is not just a tool,
Yeah.
but a pervasive force shaping their world.
Okay.
It's not enough to simply teach them about AI.
Yeah.
We need to teach them how to think critically about it,
Uh-huh.
how to use it ethically,
Yeah.
and how to adapt to a rapidly changing technological landscape.
Yeah.
It's almost like we need a whole new approach to education,
Yeah.
one that's designed for the AI age.
Right.
What would that look like?
Yeah.
What are some key things educators should be focusing on?
One crucial aspect is fostering digital literacy.
Okay.
Students need to understand how algorithms work, how to evaluate information online, and how to protect their privacy in a data-driven world.
So like internet safety stuff too.
Right. They need to be able to discern fact from fiction,
Okay.
to identify bias, and to think critically about the ethical implications of technology.
So it's not just about technical skills.
No.
It's about developing critical thinking skills and a strong ethical compass.
Exactly.
Those are skills that will be essential in any field,
Right.
not just those directly related to technology.
It's about preparing students to be informed and engaged citizens in an AI-driven world.
Yeah.
They need to be able to ask the right questions, to challenge assumptions, and to contribute to shaping the future of AI in a way that benefits humanity.
The excerpt also talks about the potential of AI to personalize learning.
It does.
Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Sure.
What does personalized learning look like in an AI-powered classroom?
Imagine a classroom where AI tutors can tailor instruction to each student's individual needs and learning styles.
Yeah.
Students who are struggling can get extra support, while those who are excelling can be challenged with more advanced material.
Okay, so it can work both ways.
Yeah. AI can provide real-time feedback, adjust the pace of learning, and even recommend resources based on a student's interests and goals.
It's like having a custom-designed learning path for every student.
Exactly.
That's incredibly exciting.
It is.
But what about the role of the teacher in all of this?
Yeah.
Will AI eventually replace teachers?
That's a question that comes up a lot.
Yeah.
But I believe the role of the teacher will evolve rather than disappear.
Okay.
AI can handle many of the routine tasks like grading and lesson planning,
Right.
freeing up teachers to focus on what they do best. mentoring students, fostering creativity, and inspiring a love of learning.
So it's more about collaboration than competition.
Exactly.
AI and teachers working together to create a more engaging and effective learning environment.
Precisely, AI can be a powerful tool for teachers, helping them to personalize instruction,
Uh-huh.
track student progress, and identify areas where students need extra support.
Okay.
It can also help teachers to stay up to date with the latest research and pedagogical approaches.
This deep dive has been a whirlwind of ideas. And I
Yes.
feel like we've only scratched the surface.
Yeah.
But one thing is clear, AI is going to have a profound impact on education.
It will.
And it's essential that we start preparing for this future now.
Absolutely. The excerpt from AI Bunu is a call to action,
Okay.
urging us to embrace the possibilities of AI while also being mindful of its challenges.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that the future is not something that happens to us.
Right.
It's something we create.
We have the power.
We do, and education is the key to shaping that future in a way that benefits all of humanity.
That's a great note to end on. We hope this deep dive has given you a glimpse into the exciting and challenging world
Yeah.
of AI and its implications for the future of learning.
Absolutely.
As AI continues to evolve, it's important to stay informed, engaged, and curious.
Remember, the most important tool we have in navigating this new landscape is our own critical thinking.
Mm.
Ask questions, challenge assumptions, and be part of the conversation about how we want to shape the future of AI.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time for another exploration of the ideas that are shaping our world.